Hi there Virgo, welcome back to Wild Lotus Tarot. This is going to be a weekly intuitive reading for December 14th through to the 20th. So Virgo, let's see what's on the cards for you. As per usual, I'm getting started with the Work Your Light Oracle. I'll then be using the Moonchild Tarot for an overarching energy and then getting out the tarot story with the Rider-Waite and Radiant Rider today. So just letting you know, Virgo, that you can find me on Facebook, Instagram and TikTok. All the links are down below, including the link to my website should you want a personal reading. So let's get out the Oracle message for the collective. I'll take the top one of those. I have got Answer the Call. What is your soul calling you to do now? If I had $5 for every time this card had come out this year, Virgo, I wouldn't have to work. It's a massive theme that's on the collective in 2020 is this idea of callings, right? You know, many of us don't really consider our soul's calling when we go into a career, when we go off to study. You know, often we're thinking about what's going to be financially viable, you know, what's going to be respectable, what's going to give me the most work opportunities and that kind of thing. Now, it's not just about work. Callings can be the calling to become a parent, to live in a certain place, to take on some kind of project, to do something like, you know, travel each continent, all different things. And really it's saying when this card comes up that maybe your soul is yearning for a calling to be acknowledged. You may have seen on the community tab that I posted last week, the book that I'm reading, it's just actually called Callings by Greg Lavoie. And it's really about how to hear the call of both source and of our soul. And it says that, you know, spirit is always trying to move us onto the aligned path, but often we don't, you know, we don't receive the message, we don't hear it because our receiver's not switched on, right? We're not tuned in. So the big part of this is learning how to recognize the call in the many disguises that it takes, right? So you might be starting to get some, you know, just some what feel like random downloads or insights. Maybe you've just suddenly got a fascination with a certain country. You know, you might be, you know, seeing a repeated number or something like that. We really want to tune in because often that is the medium that we're being led through. Big intro on the Oracle card, sorry. I just feel like that's such a theme because a lot of us are seeking to be in alignment. It's not enough for us to give up so much of our time, energy and effort on things that are not in alignment for us and then living our life in the little pockets of time that surround that. That's not living in alignment. So Virgo, let's get out your tarot energy. For Virgo, okay, I have got the moon. I am laughing because this is an interesting energy in relation to what we've spoken about because it's about the deep subconscious for many of you. You know, this does link to Pisces in the major arcana, but the moon is about revealing truths and often truths from our own depths. So maybe that soul calling, it's somewhere, you know, embedded in you already. It's already encoded in you because when you came into this life, you know, you had a plan of what you were going to do. And oftentimes we forget when we come here and we go off and do different things. And at a certain stage in our life, often it comes for us. Or we have this real deep feeling and urge that we are being guided somewhere else or that there is a deeper calling, but we don't know how to uncover it. So that process can be, you know, if we don't know what that calling is, to at least start eliminating from our lives what isn't in alignment, what we're not available for, and creating the space for it to come through. The moon can also be a card of hidden blessings. So it's really saying that, you know, there is a hidden blessing to be discovered, to be revealed. And when we start acknowledging, you know, those depths within us, and also it can talk about the shadow side as well. There could be clues in your shadow, the things that you're not looking at within yourself. When we really start to look in those deep corners, that's when the path forward is revealed. So I love that energy with the Answer the Call. Let's go to the tarot. So we're bringing out now the energy of the recent past, Virgo. Energies leaving, completing, or transitioning. Knight of Wands, which is the energy of Sagittarius in the minor arcana for me. Let's go for the current or focus energy. Knight of Cups, 2 knights. Knights can be messengers, right? And we're talking about messages. We're talking about callings here. So I'll definitely be, paying attention to how messages may come in for you over the course of this week. Let's go for the outcome energy. 7 of Swords. And, whoa, okay, Temperance wants to come out as well, which is also Sagittarius. I know what this is. And then at the bottom of the deck, that's where we're heading. This is that high vibe energy of having the luxury, the quality, all the self-sufficiency and shining really bright. This is the call. That's where we want to be when we're sitting in our truth. Let's clarify, Virgo. Clarifying the Knight of Wands. 2 of Wands, yeah. Life in review. Clarifying the Knight of Cups. I have the 6 of Cups. Clarifying the 7 of Swords with the Temperance. 6 of Swords. So I've got 2 number 6s here, and I have the Page of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Yes. Okay. Alright. This feels quite clear for me. So the Page of Swords really is that beginning of change. It's feeling that kind of shift, but not really knowing, oh, what's going on here? Where am I being moved to? But we're just feeling that change is coming. You've probably heard me say this before, Virgo, but my image that goes with this is being, we're on, smooth sailing. We're out in the ocean in our vessel, and, we're just kind of bobbing along, life as usual, and then that little breeze picks up. And it starts to blow, stronger. And it reaches that tipping point at some point where it actually changes our course, and we weren't expecting it. Maybe we weren't expecting the weather to change. So this is a real indicator that the weather in your life is about to change, and that we are really considering different options that might be really, really different from what we've done in the past. So that's the Page of Swords for me. It can also be a communication. Can be a communication that comes through a child as well. So definitely going to be paying attention to the messengers this week. 2 knights and a page is really about, the information coming through. So definitely make sure that you are tuned in and your receiver is switched on, Virgo. Okay, so in the recent past, this is where we see you. Knight of Wands and 2 of Wands. The 2 of Wands is very much about life in review. It's like we know there's something greater for us. We know there's a deeper call calling us, but we're not entirely sure which way to go. You can see here that the person in the card has 1 wand that's kind of attached to the side of the parapet there, and then a firm grip on the other wand. And these stand for, the wand of either the past or where we are, and then the wand of the future. So we're kind of weighing up, what do we do? Do we stay? Do we go? It could be in a job, could be in a relationship. I keep these general guys. But really the question is, what comfort zone are you willing to leave? What do you need to move beyond in order to really get out there and move towards whatever this calling may be for you? The 2 of Wands can mean there might be some kind of relocation, a change in the way you work, like working online or something like that as well. But with the Knight of Wands here as well, I really feel that you know what you're going to do. So the Knight of Wands is almost like, you've got the hand on this wand of the future, the wand of action, and you're getting ready to run with it. I think as soon as that decision is made to move towards whatever this change is for you, there's going to be no stopping you. This is about moving quickly into the new frontier. The Knight of Wands can also be some kind of messenger with something that tips you off, about something that really lights you up, that you know that whatever this opportunity is, you're ready to put all your time, effort and energy into. So definitely be on the lookout for that as well. And what I wanted to mention, when Temperance came out as well, we have 2 indicators of Sagittarius here. We are in Sagittarius season, and on Monday the 14th of December, we've got the total solar eclipse and new moon in Sagittarius. So it's a perfect time to do a little moon ritual, the moon. And if you don't know what this calling is, what you can really do in that ritual is make a declaration of what you are releasing from your life, what you are surrendering to, maybe your divine purpose, your divine plan, your calling. And, you know, if you do know what you want to bring in, you can do that as well. It can just be a little statement that you read out under the moon or something like that, because it's kind of saying to me that the Sagittarius season is really pivotal for you to move ahead to your new manifestations. Okay, and in the current or focus energy, here we go. I'm kind of feeling like that this could be a big piece to do with the calling here. Knight of Cups and the Six of Cups. Now this is Pisces for me as well, so we've also got two indicators of Pisces. Could be a Pisces or water sign coming forward, but if not, you know, the Knight of Cups can be somebody who comes in with some kind of most emotional message or some kind of piece of fulfillment for you. And it could be a conversation that you have. It can be somebody that's connecting with you from a past situation, like someone you used to work with, a dear old friend or something like that, that reconnects with you, and something they say kind of tips you off and you go, you know what, I think that might be it, that might be the piece I need for that calling. So stay tuned in. But this is really saying that you are entering that zone of greater fulfillment and joy and growth and love and harmony in your life by this continuous kind of forward momentum that we see here. So we have this theme about not going back, but moving forward. Maybe we don't know where we're moving towards, but we keep taking the steps. We keep releasing what needs to be released. If anything that doesn't feel right, if everything's not a full yes in your body, then we release that. That is a step, right? And then anything that feels really good, we move towards it. That is a step as well. So that's what I'm kind of seeing here. Yes, there could be a communication. I'm really feeling that communication is a big tip off for you in terms of this calling. It's kind of saying follow the breadcrumbs to me. All right, so we've got a few things going on here, Virgo. First of all, we've got the Seven of Swords, which, you know, we've got the 6 and we've got the 7. So I think this has actually become clear just now, actually. The 6 of Swords is about making a necessary rite of passage, and it's kind of like about taking a step to leave something behind before it becomes, you know, that thief of the present moment for you, before it becomes a sabotage. You know, sometimes we need to make the steps before if we stay in something too long, a situation that's not working for us, all of a sudden we can be in this mode here where we feel regret, or we feel like we've missed out, or we feel like we've maybe sabotaged an opportunity. So what I'm saying is that there's a transition to be made so that we don't get into that 7 of Swords energy. So for me, this says that there's a situation in your life that could be causing you high emotions, that is just not working anymore, that is just not in your highest and best interest. It's not leading you to that high vibe energy. That could be what needs to be let go of before you can step into this calling. It's really important to leave the past behind, to leave the baggage behind when this card comes into the reading. And again, that's come in with that Temperance energy, which is that Sagittarius energy from the Major Arcana. And what's interesting about Temperance is that it's actually the energy that follows on from Death, number 13 in the Major Arcana. And that's kind of pivotal because we've just been from Scorpio season in November to Sagittarius season in December. So what this is saying to me is like, what did you maybe not release during November that you kind of knew you should have, but you held on to it, saying now is the time in Sagittarius season to make that transition. It's like another call at that eclipse time to, you know, see what the moves that we need to make and take them. And that is when the path forward is revealed, right? Temperance is about, sorry about that guys, I just had a flat battery, I just had to flick them over. So, you know, Temperance is really about doing that internal alchemy. what emotions do you need to process? What do you need to let go of in order to become solid and secure mentally, emotionally, physically? The two number sixes and the Temperance say that balance is a theme here, coming to you into your own sense of stability and security within, and that is when we start to attract the callings and the opportunities, because there's a sense of readiness there. Temperance can talk about getting the right ingredients as well. Say if you know what this calling is, but you're like, well, how am I going to get there? I don't have the qualifications, the skills, or I know I want to be with this kind of partner, but you know, I've got all this kind of these emotional issues to work on. Start taking the steps. What can you do now to line yourself up with that opportunity? So that's what I'm seeing here, is like some internal work to do as well to make yourself a true vibrational match for what you are seeking or what you might be calling in subconsciously. And if you don't know what it is, we just do the inner work, the magician's work, and then that will actually be magnetized towards us. Nine of Pentacles is where we're heading. This is my high vibe card. It really is about total independence, self-sufficiency. It's like we're tending towards inviting quality and luxury and abundance into our lives. There is a message here that good things do take time. But for me, this is the foreshadowing of if you can find that calling, if you can be open to it, if you can do that internal shadow work, do the work of the subconscious, then you will come out, you know, like this sort of butterfly emerging energy that I see here, Virgo. Okay, Virgo, well, I am going to leave it there, and I hope you enjoyed this reading. Keeping in mind it's a general reading for the collective, may or may not be your reading, and sometimes the reading resonates just in pieces and sometimes in its entirety. If you are called to share, drop me a comment. I do read them all, guys. Try to respond to as many as I can. Helps me get to know you guys, connect with your energy, and see what's happening out there in the collective. Virgo, it has been a pleasure. I will see you back here for another one really soon. Bye for now.